Right. So, hello and welcome to webinar 20 of 2023, which is Eat for Life. Healthy eating for body, brain and bowel, the immune system, blood pressure, and more. Now, I'm not going to be doing a separate diet for each, and you will know why and what for, and some little nuances to make by the end. Now, let me just find the correct area here. There you go. So eat right. Okay, now the purpose of these webinars is to go from goal setting and goal getting to inspire more self-health responsibility and more self-peace and world peace. And questions will be answered at the end once I've stopped recording. So this is a little bit about me. If this is your 20th webinar, then you already know some of this, so I will leave that out. You can read it if you want to. One of my favorite quotes, it's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And we are a profoundly sick society. We've got more medicine than we had 50 years ago, yet we have more chronic disease than we did 50 years ago. Children are getting more and more health problems at an ever and ever early age. There's now heart disease in children. Obesity is happening at an ever younger rate. This is not genetics. There's more liver cancer and brain cancer in children than ever before. This is not genetics. It is up to you, not your genes, to decide what you eat and therefore how you live and how you feel. What we're going to cover today in a very whistle-stop tour of all of this, because I do have a patient to see today, is what we'll cover is why eat? Why eat in the first place? We're going to cover types of hunger, what to eat, the missing macronutrient, depending on who you read, what to focus on to lose weight or to balance blood sugar or to even build muscle as well. It's all the same. Carbs or fats, which is best, which is the one you need to eliminate in order to lose weight and get healthy. Micronutrients, very, very important. Types of diet, yes, there's more than one type of diet. The best diet for you, or I should say the best healthy eating plan for you, and super simple actions to take at the end. So my overall strategies when it comes to helping people with health is the Magnificent 7. Think right, of which there are huge amounts of tools that I use to help people think correctly, talk correctly. That's internal communication and external communication. Then we have drink right, so that's proper hydration. Eat right, we're covering in large amount today. Move right, detox right, sleep right. When you do all of these 7 things in the right way, it's going to protect your body, your brain, your bowel, and the overall health. Now I've put down the Magnificent 7 to the fantastic functional 3: functional movement, functional nutrition, and functional philosophy, how you think and talk to yourself. And this is, in turn, changes your communication with others as well. So why eat food? Well, the first thing everyone will probably say, even in a joking way, is because I'm hungry. And I got this from a company called Wild Fit, which is why I've put their logo on here. There are 6 types of hunger that they talk about. There's nutritional hunger, i.e. you're actually hungry because you need some nutrients. Then there's thirst. Often people are hungry just because they're not drinking enough water. People could be hungry for more variety in their diet, which is absolutely key. If you're always giving the body the same things, same carbohydrates, for instance, same bread, same wheat all the time, so you're having you're having cereal for breakfast made from wheat, you're having sandwiches at lunch made from wheat, and then a few times a week you're having pasta in the evenings made from wheat, then your body could be just craving variety. You could be hungry because you've got low blood sugar, you could be hungry for emotional reasons, and you could be hungry because you are you've just got an empty stomach. And it's that last one, number 6, empty stomach, that is the one that people most often confuse with hunger. When they have an empty stomach, their body is signaling that it's empty, but that's not the same as actually hungry and needing food. And so people these days are forever putting food in their stomach because They think they're hungry, but all it is an empty stomach. And that's why drinking water sometimes can stop you feeling hungry, or just doing some movement and thinking about things differently for a while. So those are 6 reasons why we eat. Okay, but the deeper reason why we eat is to feed our body what it needs to build cells. Now, when we eat food, now let's actually see if I can get the laser pointer working, shall I? No, I can't seem to get the laser pointer working. So hopefully you can see the mouse. Let's just see. No, I can't get the laser pointer to work. So presenter pointer options. Here you go, laser pointer. There you go. I knew I could. So basically, food is absorbed and broken down at the chemical level into atoms and molecules and various other things as well. But then our body makes things from it. It can make other atoms, and well, it can't make other atoms. It can break down the molecules to make other atoms to build new molecules. It can build up the molecules to make lots of different things. And eventually you make cells. And the cells make tissues like muscle or heart or brain or bone, or a bit of a new liver or a bit of a new kidney, or used to make hormones like insulin. And then those tissues build together to make things, organs, and that makes up all different systems in your body. And eventually it makes a healthy, fit you. And that's why we eat, basically, so that we can actually rebuild ourselves and replenish ourselves and live. However, a poor diet is the biggest contributor to early deaths across the world. Now, we hear about famine all the time, but for a few hundred years, even back in Benjamin Franklin's day, at the founding of the United States of America, even he pointed out that he knows very few people that have died of too little food, but of too much he knows plenty. And too much is causing more problems worldwide than too little. Obesity has increased worldwide by 27% since 1980. And in the Western world, so America and the UK, about 47% of children, well, there's been a 47% increase in obesity in children worldwide. And this is just a lovely picture of basically all the fat on the inside of bodies. Someone at 120 pounds, someone the same height, 250 pounds. You can see how bloated their system is. And 18.2% of premature deaths in the study is linked to excess weight. That's higher than previously thought. That was back in 2013. There you go. Contributes to cancer, diabetes, heart disease. This is all too much. Okay, and chronic disease will cost the world $47 trillion in treatment costs and lost wages. Again, you can watch all this on the replay to get all the details. And just to highlight it, smoking kills 460,000 people a year in the United States, but diet kills 670,000, and sedentary lifestyle 240,000. And so a lot of people like to think, oh, you know, it's genetic, but when you actually look at all the deaths, they can in some way related to lifestyle is the actual cause. Now here's a positive effect. When you eat well, your system will detoxify better. You'll actually break down things and repair things more easily. Weight loss will happen more easily, improved blood sugar, better heart function, better brain function, increased energy through better sleep, I should say increased sleep, and better gut health as well. All kinds of reasons to eat healthily. So what should you eat? Well, first of all, you're eating in order to basically give your body fuel. And the fuel is the first aspect that is the most important thing to get right. Again, you can read this. Here, this is actually a quote I think I got from Dr. James Chestnut of the Wellness Practice. The fuel for an engine must be the right type for the engine in the combustion chamber. If you go to a zoo, it is full of signs saying don't feed the animals. That is because every species has its own special diet, and that is the food it evolved with. Would you like to feed a lion on Big Macs, tea, coffee, alcohol, and cakes? Do you think we evolved eating these foods? There you go. So here is the old food pyramid. Now I'm happy to say that this has actually changed. And I'll show you the new one in a moment. Okay, so the bread, cereals, pasta, 30%, vegetables, 25%, fruits, 20%, meat, fish, eggs, milk, dairy stuff, 15%, fat, oil, sugar, sweets, 10%. So that is the old one, and this has led to more diabetes, more obesity, more heart disease, more cancers. This food pyramid is now recognized to be wrong. This is a really good food pyramid I got from the True Cellular Detox program, because I am someone that actually does the True Cellular Detox program. And the base of the pyramid is good fats, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, non-starchy vegetables, dairy, fermented foods, then nuts and seeds, low glycemic fruits, starchy vegetables, legumes, sprouted grains, and low glycemic sweets like dark chocolate. And then it's what to exchange, what to choose, what beverages to have. Again, there's a lot more variety in this pyramid. And again, you know, don't think you have to have meat, fish, poultry, eggs in this day and age. You can supplement quite happily, and you can do without all of this. If you're a vegan, if you're a staunch vegan or a vegetarian, but it helps to actually supplement in the right things and to add more variety to your diet. This is the Dr. Walton Paleo Pyramid. So I think I prefer this one because it's actually lots more vegetables, just lots and lots and lots of vegetables. Then, you know, you have your protein sources, then good fats, nuts and seeds, some more fats, and some fruit in season. So again, very keto related, this one. Then you have what I prefer, which is Rakowski's organic plate. Mostly plants, then some form of protein, nuts and seeds, fats and oils, whole grains, and yeah, more vegetables and fruits, and proteins, which are naturally combined with good fats anyway. Nuts and seeds, again, good fats. And if you are going to have dairy, he recommends goat dairy as opposed to milk dairy. And then lots of water or good healthy teas and coffees to hydrate your system. And now this is the new Eat Well guide. This is from, I think this is from the NHS website, this one. Again, quite a lot of carbs, third carbs, third vegetables, some fruits, and then you have some nuts and seeds and beans, and then you have some dairy, and then you have some oils. So again, quite a lot of carbs, and you've got Weetabix in there, and spaghetti. This is all stuff that's made from white stuff, and then you have water over here as well. But now this is a big but. One of the things that's really important to actually get into your system is for more variety is to eat seasonally. Now this becomes easy when you do some of the things, or one of the things that I'm about to suggest. And seasonal is one of the things that you just don't actually get to see in the system here. So what I'm just going to do is make sure that's muted. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, what happens when you do eat correctly? Now, this is, I've forgotten his name. That's terrible, isn't it? Dr. What was his name? How come I forget his name? Dean Ornish, Dr. Dean Ornish. There you go. Let's go back to sharing the screen again. Where is the share button gone? Share screen, share screen, share. Okay, go back to this slideshow. Come on. Oh, sorry, I've got Zoom and the slideshow trying to do themselves both at the same time, which is mildly annoying. Slideshow, where's the slideshow button gone? Slideshow from current slide. Thank you. Okay, so Dean Ornish, he did a study on prostate cancer. And he showed that purely by getting people to change their lifestyle, focusing, I think, more on food than anything else, within 90 days, he'd switched on hundreds of genes that were bad for prostate cancer and switched on loads that were good for overall health. That's 90 days, completely changes your genetic expression and improved health. And then there's a more recent study just looking at anti-aging. And this is an 8-week diet, which is healthy eating, exercise, meditation, and some supplements. Basically showed that within 8 weeks, you can reverse your genetic aging by 3 years. So you can make some big changes very quickly. And then a more recent one, which is just food, just by eating more fruits and vegetables, you can get healthier within as little as 2 weeks. So just more fruits and vegetables, single simplest thing you can do, increase vegetables, increase fruits. So you've got real food, nutrient dense, full of good water, really hydrating, you're going to get healthier. Just that one simple thing. And you can make it even better if you eat organic food. You'll find out why later. And if it's homegrown and local as well, there are many more benefits because it can be fresher, there's going to be more nutrients in it. And again, when you're eating homegrown and local, you're going to be eating seasonally. So you're going to increase your variety, which is the absolute key. Variety and, yeah, as you're going to see, something else. Now, when you go to a personal trainer, when you sort of do weight loss stuff, they very often talk about the macronutrients, and they mention these three: carbs, fat, and protein, because these are the three sources of energy. But really, macronutrients also includes two other things, not because they provide energy, although they can actually make you feel much more energetic when they're in your diet. So we're going to start with the most important macronutrient, which is fiber, and called phytonutrients, which is phytonutrients are the things in the fruits and vegetables that give them different colors. And the things that gives them different colors is actually helps feed your gut bacteria, which is your microbiome. And they also have lots of other effects throughout the body. And fiber is perhaps the most important thing to increase. And you increase your fiber naturally by eating more fruits and vegetables. And when you increase fruits and vegetables, you're going to get many more nutrients in your system, and you're also going to get lots more phytonutrients. You can also supplement with phytonutrients as well. And it's your microbiome. I think that's the next slide. Yeah, it is absolutely key. Study on twins that I've mentioned a number of times by Tim Spector. Now he's going into the Zoe study, but he originally did the twin study. And he showed that the most important thing in health is not genetics, but the microbes in your gut and throughout your body. And the thing that changes your microbes and feeds them most and gives them most variety is a variety of fibers and plant foods, and therefore all the things that come with it. And he recommends that you get at least 30 different types of plant per week and increase your fiber. Now, the next thing is protein. A lot of people think fats and carbs are what you need to focus on, but it's actually protein. Okay, after fiber, it is protein, of which there are many different sources. And just about every study and everyone agrees that if you want to lose weight or if you want to build muscle, you need about 1 gram of protein per day for every pound of your ideal body weight. So if you're 150 pounds, but your ideal body weight is 120 pounds, you use 120 pounds, so that's 120 grams. If you're 120 pounds and you're wanting to put on lots of muscle, you want to get to 140 pounds, then you need to have 140 grams of protein per day, or 2 grams for every kilogram if you don't know your weight in pounds. But it's very, very basic. And if you concentrate on getting enough protein and fiber, then pretty much you're going to be full and you don't have to really worry about too much else. Now, there are times that it's really important to eradicate protein and really decrease it. And it's actually a good thing every once in a while to actually have far less protein. Like with everything I said, it's good to cycle, it's good to have variety, it's good to eat seasonally, and it's good to change with times about how much you're eating of certain nutrients, apart from fiber, which is perhaps always good. And so you get an idea, 85 grams of beef gives you 28 grams of protein. 172 grams of legumes, like soya beans, gives you 29 grams of protein. So you can see if you're a vegetarian, you've got to eat a lot of beans and legumes to get all the protein you need. Again, dairy, you have to have a lot of milk to get the protein you need. Dairy, cheese, cheddar cheese, that's got quite a bit of protein in it. Starchy cereals, again, not very much in the way of protein. Fruits and vegetables, again, some protein, but meats are the best source, and you can supplement protein as well. But this is why so many people are devoid of protein, because most of the meat they're eating is actually rubbish, and I wouldn't recommend you eat it for a protein source. because of everything else that's going on it. But we'll get to that. Let's see. Yes. So low carb, high fat, or high carb, low fat. Well, a lot of people like the keto diet, and I think one of the reasons why they like the keto diet, which is the high fat, low carb diet, is because it's actually giving them more variety because they're stopping eating lots of cereals and all the sorts of things they've eaten for a long time. And it's this variety that I think is one of the reasons why so many people get health benefits when they go to keto, because it's so different. It changes their metabolism, it shakes things up, it gives them something different to do. However, studies have shown that basically with the calorie side of things, it doesn't really matter if your calories are coming from fat or carbohydrates. They are the same. However, calories you're getting from stuff like bread and cereal and refined grains, it comes with other costs as well. So with good fats, ideally, you want to select organic. Let's get my presenter view, screen, pointer options. Let's get my laser pointer back. Here you go. Organic grass-fed. And this is so important that if you're eating fish, if you're eating meat, that the animals, the fish, are eating the food they're meant to eat. Farmed salmon are eating grains. Grains are not fish food. So you're not going to have a fish full of omega-3 fats. Grass-fed cows are full of omega-3 fats. So just because it's a fish doesn't mean to say it's got omega-3 in it. Just because it's meat doesn't mean to say it hasn't got omega-3 in it. If you're feeding food what it's meant to eat, it will be healthy. But there are lots of other good fats, olive oil, flax oil, MCT oil, hemp oil. So again, you can watch the replay of this. You can take a screenshot of this when you get the replay about all the kinds of different things. And in America, you can get fermented cod liver oil, which is apparently very good. This is why I left it on there, because I got this from the True Cellular Detox training that I did. So lots of good oils. Fifth macronutrient is water, which was on both of those healthy eating plates, but was missing, I think, from the food pyramids, I think, apart from the detox one. Now, one of the most important things is realizing what not to eat. Now, I am a big fan of heroic.us. Is that going to allow me to pointer options, highlighter? No, it's just going to stay on it, isn't it? Never mind. Oh, no, it's gone. Heroic. No, can't do it. Won't allow me to change it. Heroic. So avoid processed foods and what in heroic terms is called carbage, because so much of the carbs we're eating today is garbage because it's just made from flour, which is a highly processed food. Another big thing, don't drink your sugar. So whether that's fruit juices or whether it is carbonated sugary drinks like Coke, orange juice is still a sugary drink, basically. So orange juice is not a health drink. And grapefruit juice, probably not a health drink either. Install an eating sunset and window. Basically, so make sure you stop eating 2 to 4 hours before bed, and only eat for 11 hours throughout the day at most, because it gives your body a chance to actually rest, relax, use what it's got, recycle what it's got, so it helps clean the body up. And just by reducing the amount of time in which you eat, basically leads to a 36% reduction in cancer remittance. So if you do have cancer, start doing this now, because you're going to decrease the chances of it ever coming back. Now, this is why we say don't eat sugar, because in rats, sugar versus cocaine, basically, you can see on this one side here, where's my laser pointer's gone again? Okay, this is the area of addiction that lights up with sugar. This is the one with cocaine. Basically, rats basically preferred sugar to cocaine. So remove all processed grains and refined sugars from your diet. Yes, this includes white rice, white pasta, white bread. These are all processed grains that are sugar, and they will raise glucose and insulin the same as sucrose, fructose, or any other O's. Now, this doesn't mean to say you can never eat white pasta and white bread again. I'm just saying if you're trying to lose weight or improve your health, it's a good idea to make some big changes. And more stuff on sugar. 1/3 of sugar consumption comes from soft drinks. And yeah, again, read this later in the replay if you need more convincing about how bad. Sugar is an anti-nutrient offering insignificant amounts of vitamins and minerals and robbing your body of precious nutrient stores. This inevitably leads to diseases of the new millennium, such as chronic fatigue, leads to lots of brain disorders like ADD and ADHD, heart disease, diabetes, and cancers, or at least it makes everything worse, I should say. Some advice from Dr. Pomper, who put together the True Cellular Detox program. Remove bad fats, replace with good fats, because bad fats are linked to chronic inflammation. And again, we've already given you what good fats and bad fats are. Change the meats you have. Already spoken to you about that because of bioaccumulation of commercial pesticides and herbicides and all kinds of other stuff and rubbish in most modern meat, which is why you want good quality and hopefully local meat as well. Now, pesticides and herbicides. This is why you really do need to go organic. Okay, is because I mean, certain herbicides and pesticides you have to be covered. Okay, to make sure you're not breathing it in or getting it on your body because it's so toxic, and yet we're expected to eat this stuff. And this is all from one of my cardiovascular and blood pressure webinars. So again, I'm just going to go through this: higher cardiovascular rates with herbicides, higher cardiovascular disease, pesticides and atrial fibrillation, pesticides in artery disease, association of pulmonary function with measures, basically exposure to all kinds of stuff. Basically, it just goes on and on and on. Roundup, which most of us have probably used in our gardens. They're named glyphosate is the active ingredient. The usage of it has gone up, and they can cause all kinds of problems. Cancers. I mean, Monsanto are being sued for not having removed this yet from the world. Basically, it just goes on and on and on and on. And what's worse is that basically if the mum ingests it, it's actually passed on to the offspring as well. So it just goes on and on and on and on. And glyphosate damages collagen, and that's one of the most important things for your muscles and bones and tendons to heal. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. Glycine, which is actually the antidote to glyphosate, lowers blood pressure, whereas glyphosate raises blood pressure. There, glycine. It just goes on and 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 on. There you go. Which brings us to micronutrients. We've spoken about fat, carbohydrates, fibers, but there's all the vitamins and minerals as well, and there's lots of them. And there are at least 30 key elements in the body that plants and animals need to be healthy. And that's just a breakdown of the human body, where a leg of protein, a leg of fat, and a body full of water. And then we have some other bits and pieces in there as well. But we need these things. But what is most surprising is that, today's diet only contains a fraction of what the Victorians were eating. They had a much more varied diet, a much better diet than we do today. And if you got past the age of 4 in Victorian times, your health expectancy was actually better than today. So I supplement as well. I take a multivitamin mineral. I don't always take it. I vary what dosage I take. I vary which one I take. I take extra magnesium. Take extra fiber, phytonutrients. I vary which omega oils I take, sometimes fish, sometimes krill, sometimes hemp seed oil, sometimes just fish itself, oily fish. Protein, I also take sometimes amino acid supplements, and amino acids are the building blocks of proteins and may actually be better for people with lots of symptoms and wanting change. I have a Chinese medicinal mushroom in my coffee and tea. In winter, I take vitamin D3 and K2, and in summertime, I take astaxanthin because it's great for the skin. Now, there are all kinds of different kinds of diets, and I am actually rushing through this because I've realized how little time I have. There's all kinds of different diets. There's weight loss diets, blood sugar control diets, anti-inflammatory diets, immune boosting diets, cancer diets, brain health diets, blood pressure diets, and 8-week anti-aging diet as well. And there's more. And each one of these will require slightly different foods and outlooks and nutrients. And there are actually what are called medical foods that have been produced, which are basically proteins and nutrients put together to help with some of these as well. Then there's experimental diets. This is where you're not doing anything because you've got a particular disease, but you want to see how your body responds. One of the things I recommend everybody tries, even though I'm not a fan of everyone going 100% vegan all the time, is you should try going completely vegan, proper vegan, not a grainarian where you're eating nothing but grains all the time, but really, really varied diet vegan. And this is one of the things I do for getting people to detox, is I get them to go vegan for about 7 days and take some protein powders. You can try a full-on carnivore diet. Some people find that very useful. Keto diet, lectin-free diet, dairy-free diet, wheat-free diet, fasting, and detoxes as well. There's lots of experimental diets to see how you respond. Then there's individual healthy eating plans. This is once you've actually found where you want to be. And so there's something called the Innate Diet, which is a great guide to how you should eat. I like looking and people to have a little bit of understanding about their blood group, because that may help them understand how to eat. There's metabolic typing. There's the DASH diet if you've got hypertension. But again, the DASH diet mixed with the Mediterranean diet is very, very, very healthy and varied. And Diabetes UK actually do a seasonal Mediterranean, I think, diet book as well, eating book. So eating personality as well, activities, these all will actually determine what the best individual diet is for you. Okay, and I've actually got more about it, some old videos, so they don't contain everything that I've just said, on my website, which is Permanent Perfect Eating Permanent Weight Loss. And if you've got a QR scanner, just scan that QR code and it will go to the first of 3 different blog posts on my website about that. So again, you can come back and watch the replay. Now, tools. If you want to teach people a new way of thinking, or you want to change their behavior, basically give them a tool. That's one of my favorite quotes from Buckminster Fuller. So tools. So there's 2 tools that I'd recommend. And one is Cronometer. cronometer.com. There's a free version and a paid for version. You only need the free version. This is brilliant. I can send you a Loom video on how to use this, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You basically just sign up, it's free. You put in all the food you're eating, and literally you have to just put in bread. You can actually put in Sainsbury's multigrain bread. It's actually got stuff from different supermarkets. It's got some of the vitamins and minerals if you want to actually stick in your vitamins and minerals in there as well. But I usually recommend people just put in the food to see what they're getting from food alone. It's absolutely brilliant. And you can put in activity and all sorts of things, but it's great to track your food to give you an idea about how many calories you're getting, where you're deficient in the food you're eating. Another app, which I've spoken about numerous times, is the Heroic.us app for improving your energy, productivity, engagement, and basically sticking with your plans. There are lots of benefits I've spoken about before. That's Heroic Protocol, and mastering yourself and dominating the fundamentals. And one of the fundamentals is eating right. And you can get a 30-day free trial. There is a free version of the app, and that's all you need. But there is a paid for version where it gives you lots more information. So you can have a look at that if you scan the QR code. Again, you'll get it in the replay. A quick recap: fiber, increase it. Protein, most likely increase it. Organic makes a difference. You need more nutrients. Stop drinking sugar, drink more water instead. Stop eating white powders turned into food. Use an app to keep on track, and eat local and seasonal. Eat every color every day, and make sure it's clean protein as well. Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. Pretty simple advice. And write Magnificent 7 supplements or food types. clean paleo foods, superfoods and super plants, fiber, functional foods, multivitamin, mineral, omega-3s, sunshine or vitamin D3, and in the summer, astaxanthin. Some actions for you to take: fiber, increase it. I don't think you can lose by trying to increase your fiber, whether you're doing it from fresh vegetables or whether you add a little bit of fiber supplement in, but I'd start with more vegetables first of all if you can. Protein, most likely you need to increase it. Decrease wheat. Try not to have it every day 3 times a day, which does happen, and try and eat seasonally and locally because that's going to help you massively. But more, if you want to go a little bit deeper into the 5-day detox, there's information on the painreliefcenters.co.uk/detox. That's a free program. There are some supplements. 8 weeks to a younger you. This does involve a more in-depth look and some certain supplements. If you want to go on the 8-week program, let me know. There is a cost for the training and the supplements. And as one of my mentors says, everyone has imperfect chemistry. Performance improves as chemistry improves. And your chemistry will improve when you improve your eating and you eat right. So very quickly, next up is basically Love Your Lungs Week. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about lungs and neurology and brain health and how it all relates next week. And that leaves it for there. There's some contact details. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop recording and see if there are any quick questions. So let's just stop recording. And bye for now and see you all next week. Are you sure you want to